Well, hey guys, before I start, I need to apologize to someone who's been very upset that they haven't been introduced to the camera in quite some time. So please turn your attention, everybody, right now to my little friend. There he is. He's alive and well, and I apologize for keeping you off camera so long, buddy. All right, guys, in all seriousness, come on, stop fooling around, Tom. I want to tell you guys that this 40-day challenge is going to be devoted exclusively to weight loss. And you may say, well, weren't the last two 40-day challenges devoted to weight loss? Well, listen to the content. Were they? Listen to the first 40-day challenge. What was the content focused on? It was focused on the immune system. It was focusing on how do we bolster the immune system? What are all of the factors involved? The second one, the second 40-day challenge, focused mostly on breathing, meditation, and topics that you guys were interested in that had to do with the first 40-day challenge. So we went in more depth with sleep and a whole bunch of other topics that really delved in deeper down the rabbit hole on certain topics in the first one. Now it's all about weight loss. And you may be saying, well, what in the world could you possibly be offering, Tom? We already read the UTC manual. Have you? Have you read the 13th edition? Or are you talking about something that's now 8, 10, 12 years old at this point? I always upgrade the UTC manual. So it is about why is this manual put together the way it is? And you'll notice in the manual, it's open to interpretation depending on a whole bunch of factors, including certain diseases, whether or not you're male or female, your body weight. So it's extremely tailored to an individual. Now, let's start off on a common ground. You may be saying, well, what could you be teaching me now, Tom? Well, ask yourself, do you recognize that 3,500 calories really is a pound of weight loss? Okay. Laboratories around the world can confirm this over and over again, that a calorie, being a unit of energy, really maps onto a pound of weight loss in the body. Now, does it matter how those calories are burned? Meaning, is it mostly fat? Is it mostly lean tissue being burned? Absolutely. Well, it would matter. I mean, you would want to burn more fat than lean tissue, right? Well, how do we do that? Well, we need to understand that there's endogenous and exogenous factors. So endogenous meaning there's things within us. And a lot of this will sound familiar to you guys. But through the next 40 days, I'm going to go into detail about these endogenous and exogenous factors. What do I mean? Well, to start and to be very, very, very brief, we're talking about things like hormones. And that's not just relegated to whether or not you're male or female, meaning it's not just relegated to testosterone and estrogen. It's not just relegated to genetics in terms of that either. Meaning there's a whole bunch of genetic factors that many of you have sat across the table from me and we've gone through based on your 23andMe genetic polymorphisms, many of which have to do with how well do you metabolize fat? How well do you metabolize saturated fat? There are genes for that and many others that can be very specific to how well you consume certain forms of energy, and fat being stored energy is one of them. And if you're eating more fat in your diet as a macronutrient, that may not be the best option for you. And we would have went through that individually. And during the 40-day challenge, I'll go through why that is as part of one of the days in the 40-day challenge. You're also talking about biochemical factors within the body. Again, we're sticking within the body. So we have hormones, we have male, female, and all the genetics that map onto fat loss within the body and how your body would use energy. And we also have biochemical factors within the body. So some people are on medications, for example. Some people have very specific long-term illnesses going on. Some people have issues with digestion, which is another factor inside of the body that would inhibit certain, remember the expression I use, it's not what you eat, it's what you absorb. So digestion is about absorption. If you're a poor digester of foods and minerals, well, that's going to be a problem in terms of your overall health. That's just a couple of examples, and there's many more, of endogenous factors that would prohibit you from losing weight when it comes to how much fat you lose as opposed to how much muscle you lose. But 3,500 calories really is a pound. So despite those endogenous factors, if at the end of the day you burn 3,500 calories more than you consumed, meaning whether that means you moved more or you ate less, you really will lose a pound by the end of the week, because 500 times 7 is 3,500. But we have to factor in everything going on, including the exogenous forces, which is the food you eat. So whether it's protein, carbs, or fats, for example. If you eat more protein as opposed to more soda, meaning Coca-Cola or Pepsi or whatever, we have to recognize that there really is a law of thermogenesis here that has to do with what happens when you digest protein as opposed to straight sugar. There's the same level of thermogenesis when you move your body in general, not just in exercise. It could be standing instead of sitting. It could be walking instead of standing. It could be going up the stairs instead of taking the escalator. We've talked about this, and the acronym we've used is NEAT, which is non-exercise thermogenesis, right? Non-exercise thermogenesis. It is a way of getting extra calories to burn by not having to exercise, right? Just walking to your car across the street instead of parking in the driveway. Just extra ways to get steps in. And then, of course, when it comes to exercise, we're talking about the imposed demands of the exercises. It's not just strength training versus cardio. What types of cardio are you doing? How are you doing your cardio? How are you doing your strength training? How long is the strength training? How many sets and reps are you doing? How much rest are you taking in between sets? When it comes to losing fat and maintaining or muscle as much as possible, or lean tissue as much as possible while losing weight, all of these things matter. Similarly, the biochemical things outside of you, and I will throw supplements under this umbrella as well. What is your supplementation like? Are you drinking things like caffeine, which absolutely will do things metabolically that will enhance how much energy you expel, because it's a stimulant, right? You're going to do things inside of your body that upregulate your blood pressure. All these things will upregulate when you take caffeine as a stimulant or any other stimulant. These are the types of things that I'm talking about. And I'm not saying go ahead and drink 40 cups of coffee a day. I just want you to recognize that there's a reason why when somebody's a smoker, which smoking a cigarette is a stimulant, when they stop, they gain weight. Okay, because a cigarette is a stimulant. Now, what is the cost here? The net value of smoking should be obvious to you in terms of stopping smoking, right? Because dying of lung cancer is one of the most painful deaths possible. And all you have to do is look at the statistics of how many more people die of lung cancer that are smokers as opposed to non-smokers. But also, there's a real problem when people stop smoking and they gain 15 pounds, because 99% of the net value of any diet that makes you lose weight, that helps you lose weight, is in the weight loss itself. It's not so much, believe it or not, in how you did it. It's in once you lose weight, the net value is the fact that you're lighter is the health benefit. Now you may say, well, Tom, that seems to contradict what you're saying. You're saying that it doesn't matter how I lose the weight. Wrong. What I'm saying is once the weight is lost, that's the health benefit. What you need to listen to me say is two things. One, in longitudinal studies, dieters that diet for 2 years, right? So we can go 6 months, we can go a year, we can go 2 years. I'm just giving you the cliff notes. After 2 years, take 100 people on a diet. 95 of those 100 will be the same weight or heavier 2 years from now. So, and the other 5 could be either 0.0001 pounds lighter or 1 pound lighter or 2 pounds lighter after 2 years. So do diets work? We've proven time and time again, no. We need to understand certain things about weight loss in order to keep weight gain at bay. And that's what I'm going to go into here. So we're going to understand the endogenous and exogenous factors. We're going to go in depth as always. And that is going to be the focus of this 40-day challenge. And I will, as always, lead by example. I've told you what I've been doing in the past few videos. I told you what I'm going to do this time, and I will provide before and after pictures, and you will see me every day doing the things that I do, and I will continue to give examples of a whole bunch of stuff that I will talk about, and I am excited to bring this content to you guys. So guys, have a great rest of the day, and thanks for reaching out and joining the challenge with me, and thank you for all your support. If you have questions about the challenge, just shoot me a text or email, and have a great day, everybody.